Hey, welcome to the Blue Jay Banner post-game show. We are live at the Let It Fly Sports Bar downtown Omaha. That was going nuts for about, 45 minutes in real time through the end of the game and over to 2 overtimes. Creighton with an epic comeback, 85-81. Here with my man, Austin Chapman, who's under the weather, but he's doing it. He's here. He's a trooper. Not like Ross. Ross would have called in sick, but Austin, he's here.
Yep, man of word.
Because that's why he was a starting point guard, all right? That's why. He was going to make a play.
That's fair.
Hey, if you're watching, thanks so much. Please hit that subscribe and like button. We keep growing every show we do, so let's keep it rolling. We're having a great time doing these shows. Hit that subscribe and like button. It helps us out a lot. And in chat tonight, we've got a special chat for you, so we've asked that you put in how this ranked with epic Creighton comebacks of all time.
Yep.
I just got a tweet from my buddy Joel who's sitting down below down there. He said Creighton had a 1.9% chance of victory when DePaul was up 62-51 with 2:12 to go. And that was on Kalkbrenner got switched off on a guard, and he took Kalk to the hole and laid it in.
This is in regulation, right?
Yeah.
But as I kind of told you prior, those last 2 minutes, that was the best I've ever seen Kalk play. It was. His energy, he was active, he was calling for the ball. Then, immediately, of course, urgency. But, that was the most urgency I've ever seen.
And he was, on his own.
On the ball.
Deking. Once we scored, he was deking away and then suddenly coming up and trapping.
Right. He was point,
and that one time we got a jump
man
ball
on the trap, point man on the press.
Yeah.
That's player of the year stuff there.
Yeah.
Well,
he did.
And granted, if he did that every night, we might not have that production, but 47 minutes. So of course he expended a lot.
To be fair, it wasn't only him in that first half. It was pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
They just didn't seem like they had a sense of urgency. That's what most people said. It didn't look like they.
Not even that. It's just. It's a lot, man. You get to New York and you got the dinners, you got your fans, you got everything that's going on too, and it's a different environment.
And there were some new guys that didn't know, didn't catch that.
A lot of that's just different, right? And it just takes a little bit. And DePaul has nothing to lose right now, right? And plus, we're trying to stay healthy.
I told people all night long. I go, I've watched DePaul a ton this year, and there's times where you go, man,
they're damn good.
Got some nice pieces,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They got some nice pieces. And that Meyer kid that looked like a wreck, he was out. Yeah. He didn't play tonight,
Yeah.
And, but he's pretty good. I'm not demeaning him. He's pretty good. And they have some nice pieces, but they only do it in 4-minute stretches.
Spurts.
They never played like this for 35 minutes like they did tonight. I mean, they
played well.
They played well. And they shot the ball, and they were. How many times did they throw it in at the end of the shot clock? Just a desperation heave, and it went down. And just
Well, they made tough baskets. Even Gunn.
That's the kind of stuff that you see when an upset happens, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you got to give the guys credit, man, because it was 11, and I said, this game's over. And the guy next to me who really doesn't watch Creighton basketball much goes, oh, no, they got time. I'm like, no, trust me, they don't have time. And we somehow did it, and Ashford finally made a shot.
Hit the big one.
But Fedor was phenomenal.
Probably his best game of the season.
Yeah.
There was a few individuals that probably had their best game of the season, but that's what we've been saying all year. We got this unit, and it's we can rely on different guys too now. I think we've been pushing our workhorses pretty hard, the past 2 months, 3 months, to where now it's kind of this was a game. I won't say, we could lose, right? But I think it just kind of was a game that Mac was going in of let's build some confidence for these other guys going in to what our real goal is, you know, at the end of the day. So I don't know. We came out slow. We were able to kind of pull it together as a unit, and just had some big contributions from some guys who haven't really seen the court, over the course of this year. So I'm excited. Really just ready for March to really unfold here and get to this tourney. But, we still got 2 more games here of this Big East championship. But
so I've got 2 points. One is, you mentioned Fedor, and it wasn't only Fedor's. Like people in the first half on BlueJayBanner.com or on the message board were like, "Well, if it wasn't for Fedor, he was the only guy who was there." So I go, "Well, hold on, but Fedor got yanked because blew a defensive assignment, then had 2 turnovers, then didn't box out. Mac was furious with him, and he actually played longer than he was because Mason was on the scores table coming in, and Mason came in, gave his good energy, and then he got popped in the head.
Which I think,
But that was, so Fedor went back to the bench, and then when Fedor came out the second time, it was a different Fedor. And the biggest part of his whole thing, and you can talk about the offensive part all you want, the biggest part of tonight was he shut down Rivera when he got in the game. Rivera wouldn't even shoot the ball. Rivera was, and that's where that came into play was a couple reasons. Number one, the last play of regulation. They went with a strange look where Kalk was guarding 23. What was his name? I forget. For DePaul.
Not sure. Thomas?
Yeah. So he was guarding him.
Yeah.
And then they ran, which I thought, okay, he's just going to try and take Kalk off the dribble. Kalk's not going to fall for that this time. He's going to try and stuff him on the block.
Oh, yeah.
But then they ran a pick. They came over and screened. They ran a pick and roll for him, and then Kalk was easily able to go over and block that guy's shot. So I didn't get that. I would have given it to Rivera. I would have ran some sort of screening action to get it on Rivera.
I just think, pressure got to him a little bit. They haven't really been in that situation. This is a big stage now.
Yeah, but Chris Holtman's a veteran coach, though.
Not even that. The coach isn't playing the
No, but
he
can call a play.
I mean, you could call a play, but if we're out here pressuring and like all that adrenaline's running, there's just so many things that are.
He's always backing up the player.
Not even that. It's like those are the ones that are actually putting the ball in the hole. So it's like, granted, the coach does everything he can, put schemes together, but those guys got to go ahead and execute.
By the way, I'm having a celebratory Let It Fly beer here.
Oh, yeah.
I spilled my first one, so we're trying. This is the second try. But, and then I was talking to my buddy Joel downstairs, and he was at practice on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he said Mac stopped the practice and went ballistic on the team because of these stupid turnovers.
Yeah.
And he just goes, you guys are looking like idiots. He goes, you guys, he didn't use idiots, but, you're looking bad because you're making these turnovers. They're not even, he goes, we had 10 turnovers against Butler. Butler doesn't turn over anybody.
Right.
So it was all on us.
Right.
And he goes, and in practice they were making these turnovers, and then tonight in the first half, what did we do? Silly turnovers.
But we've done this all year.
I know.
That's somewhat of our MO, right?
Now, the good thing tonight was I didn't feel like we gave up offensive rebounds, but most of them were on threes that bounced out. Fair. We didn't give up many offensive rebounds where the guy just came in, swooped in, a la St. John's style and got the rebound. We did a good job there, but yes, we did give,
Absolutely.
Oh.
Tough. I mean, but, that's just kind of what we've been doing all year. So it's just more or less, we've been able to weather storms. And that's like why I think this team is so good. Because it's like we find a way to win when we're like, when I think playing at our worst.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a scary team to like.
That's the other thing I wanted to mention. Thanks for bringing that up, because last weekend we had our mock selection committee where the best bracket houses got to get together, and I was just the moderator this year, but I was the Big East representative. So I'm explaining. They go, "Okay, Tim, tell us about Creighton." So I go ahead and I start talking about Creighton, and I said, they're talking about the metrics, that some of our metrics aren't great, and I go, the reason why is this team just, I don't know, some nights it just doesn't look like they're interested or have it or whatever you want to call it.
Got it out.
But they somehow find a way to get it done and get it done in the strangest ways and the strangest situations. And I said, that's what's got them to where they are in second place in the Big East.
Absolutely.
And I said, you got to give them credit. Because a lot of teams in the Big East don't want to play them because we have Kalkbrenner and we have Ashworth, so we have the inside-out thing going, and it's tough.
Right.
And tonight, that's a catechism of the whole season, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it just unbelievable.
Absolutely. Not the the typical of the way we play, but I just attribute that to the experience, right? Calk being around for the amount of time he's been, Ash being around for the time he's been,
Jemiah's a senior,
right?
yep.
And like just finding ways to will the
and
win.
Fedor playing
absolutely
European basketball.
And now him, coming to the fold. But of course, those first 3-4 guys that have kind of been, the nuts and bolts of the team over the past 4 months. That now it's kind of like we believe in ourselves. Everybody else believes in themselves, and it's just next man up, right? It's been that since we've got news on Pop, but they just keep finding a way to just figure it out, and like we haven't shot well, I don't think, all season, to be honest.
I don't think we shot
to the capability of where we shoot the ball. As
the first half of Butler game was really epic. But that wasn't consistent. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That was as historic as tonight was.
Yeah,
it was
right.
on both sides of it.
But I mean, if we could shoot, we don't even have to shoot that well. Just slightly less than that.
Shoot our 40%.
That's what we're capable of.
38% games, well underhand.
Yes.
And like we're shooting things in the 20s. Teens sometimes, and it's just like, but we're still finding a way to win.
Yeah,
that's kind of where
crazy about this.
To me, that's when it's like you don't want to face this team, really. And it's like it's the same thing with St. John's, right? When they figure out knocking down shots and hitting jumpers, that's just a tough team to play, ultimately. And it's kind of, basketball gods really got the last say at it.
I mean, just. Like I said, 2:12 to go, down 11.
Kalkbrenner, man. Nothing but Kalkbrenner won us that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because we wouldn't have had the opportunity. Like, his last 2:30, those last 2 minutes and 30 seconds of regulation, I believe, is what won the game. And his assertiveness and just how aggressive he was. And you just saw he was quicker on his feet. He was the point on the press. Like, you've never seen any of that, right? And, like, got a couple traps, got a couple turnovers. Attacking the rim with will. A couple sky hooks that just looked amazing. Like, this dude it was player of the year tonight, definitely, right? Like, it was something like now he's got the chip back on his shoulder and not out here just going through the motions.
And the thing was, too, is like, we were down 3 and had the ball. We turned it over once and then just made a stupid shot the other time. It's like, God, guys. Right. But I'll tell you what.
That's credit to DePaul, man. They were in passing lanes. They were baiting us.
Especially in first half, they were all over.
They were baiting us into certain things that we knew.
And we were a little lackadaisical, and we just went for it.
And post entries were terrible.
You're right.
And game kind of changed once we were able to get Fedora in there and to make some different things happen. Get a Trout was able to kind of
that's what I was going to say. Trout
some
came
different
in
post entries. And just his angle is a little bit different, right? You got to respect the shot. Then it's his shot. The pass in, the entry is going to be a little bit easier. But it's just Matt kind of figuring out the chess pieces over time.
McAndrew learned something tonight from Trout. When Trout got in the game, when it was big time, and he hit that 3.
Yeah.
Did you notice how he took his time and followed his form? Jackson gets a little quick.
He's always rushed.
When he's open. Like, I better shoot it.
I've thought he's always been rushed from the very beginning.
His release is kind of... His release is just quick, and it looks rushed sometimes.
Quick,
but sometimes you can tell when he's ready, and sometimes you can tell when he's rushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of that's just in base, right?
And I think that's a big thing with Isaac this year. That's the difference between last year and this year. When I see him shoot, most times he's very relaxed and keeps his form.
That's experience because he knows. Like, generally, he's got a guy that's a little bit shorter. He's getting this thing off at a higher launch angle that most people won't be able to contest that anyway. So if you're able to kind of just shoot that thing with just rhythm and a comfortable shot, horse shot, then you're making 9 out of 10 of those. So a lot of that's just mental, and McAndrews, he's a freshman, right? So he's still learning some of this. Granted, he has the confidence that he has.
That's how
grow,
people
But he definitely
right?
is a little rushed. And, like, even when he's been playing well, there's shots that he's shooting that are rushed that he's making. And so, it's giving him a little bit of false confidence in some ways. But when he's shooting poorly, then it's kind of like, all right, let's go back and look at the mechanics. And it's like, well, you've been shooting like this and making it. So,
Yeah.
right. But I've kind of said this from the start. Like, when he shoots poorly, he's always rushing it. And sometimes it just happens to go in. That's just the luck of the trade, right? Put enough work in, yeah, eventually some will go through. But if you're not shooting it with that consistency and at that right angle all the time, you know, it's going to be tough. And there's going to be a lot of inconsistency there. But he's learning, right? And he's willing to learn. And so next year, maybe even here in a couple weeks, it's gonna, like, that's just experience. Being in these games, having that feeling, understanding what your adrenaline's doing. That's kind of how Trout looked at the beginning of the year. His adrenaline was so high once we actually got the games, because you go to practice, this guy's, you know, calm as a clam, you know, and then you get to the game and you can tell he's a little antsy, and then he catches it and, you know, he just ready to let that thing go, and it's long, short, you name it. And it's just more or less the mindset around it, right? Like, I'm standing at this stature. Generally, my thing's getting off pretty easily. There's no need for me to rush my shot. So, I don't know. It's just some experience things. And today, the more experienced team won. You know, you just got to give credit to DePaul, of course, for coming out.
Got to give big credit to DePaul in that first overtime, because they were done.
The entire game, though.
Yeah, I know, but they were done. They lost their stud, who had been killing us, to foul trouble, just like we lost Ashworth. And we were up 8 when Ty went in and made that layup.
Yep.
And they still battled in. They hit a 3.
Same foot.
We had a Ty has that one turnover game we talked about all year. He had that turnover. All he had to do was call timeout right there.
I'm not worried about it.
I know. He played very well. Hit some big free throws.
That's expected.
Big free throws. You could tell he was so nervous on the first trip line. Then he just relaxed and he made them all.
Yeah. He's playing under a microscope right now. You know,
but that was huge. And his defense improved so much as the first overtime went to the second overtime. His defense got better and better and better and better.
Right? Like, he's just in the game. He's on the stage now. Like, it's just,
he was like, hey, this is AAU ball. These guys are AAU.
Like,
these guys aren't as good as AAU players I played against.
Even that, he just finally arrived a little bit. I would like to say. And, you know, he's like, you're battling one of the best in the country anyways, day in, day out at practice, right, too, as well. And like we said, this team is a unit, and they all believe in each other. And so, you know, he went out there, and everybody had the same faith in him that they should, and confidence, and, you know, finally showed through that he believes in himself, you know. And it was like, I'm attacking the basket. I'm getting downhill. His game just looked, it was night and day, honestly, that I saw, definitely from the point guard perspective.
Jays win 85. I got the score right. 85-81.
85-81.
Double overtime over DePaul. We were down 17 the first half. We were down 15 multiple times in the second half. We were down after we cut it to 3. They then raced out, hit a couple of threes.
Yep.
We were down 11 with 2:12 to go, if you didn't see the game. And then went on an epic comeback. I'm going to pull up the game-by-game play here, because this is something, this is legendary. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be, it's going to be talked about. I know it's only a quarterfinal game, and we're against the number 10 seed. I get it, but
as far as comebacks,
we had a 1% chance of winning that game. I mean, you don't see comebacks like that.
I don't think so. The entire game.
Wait, you can't argue with what the analytics say.
You can, though. Just like when you were like, I was sitting there, Doug, Grant, everybody looked at me. Yeah, we're gonna win this game.
Well, that's Doug.
That was
Doug factor. That doesn't count.
No, that's just the factor of like when you're in the moment and you actually understand, what's going on.
You know what? When they were down 11, I don't think those guys were running on the floor thinking they were going to win. I
think so.
I don't think so.
I know so.
I don't think
actually.
So. Ashworth is probably the only one.
No. Everybody, because Mac believed it. I can tell you that. Cock believed it.
Well,
Fedor came in and he
believed it. Really, in the deep of their mind, they're like,
they believed it. This is DePaul. Like, at the end of the day,
they were doing everything.
No, they weren't. We were
DePaul?
I'm talking about us.
Oh,
and that's the whole thing. We beat ourselves.
So here we go. So 2:12 to go. We get the ball down. Fedor hit that 3.
Yep.
That was big.
Huge.
Okay. So we cut it to 8, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And we called the timeout. And then Kalkbrenner got a foul. And then we started fouling, which I thought,
Yep.
woo, well, we're not in the bonus yet, so a little early. But then Mac made a great move because he fouled I can't pronounce his name, Troy D'Amico. And he missed the free throw.
Yep.
Because Mac went out and yelled, foul, 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 because he's the worst free throw shooter. So he missed it. So he came down, and then Zugic made that deep three.
Yep.
That cut it to 5. Now I started to think, there's still 1:35 left, maybe. And then one of those plays we're talking about with Kalk, he went over, trapped in the corner. We got a jump ball. Quick whistle jump ball. I thought all the jump balls tonight were quick whistles, but that was a quick whistle too. So we got the ball there, and I thought, okay, here's our chance. Oh, no, they got the ball. I'm sorry, it was DePaul's ball. Okay, so, but then Jackson McAndrews stealed it. But then Ashworth threw up a 3 and missed it.
Right.
Off a inbounds play. Missed that.
Right.
But Fedor got the rebound, whipped it into Kalk, laid it in. Now it's a 3-point game.
And that's when he hits that corner there.
Then they missed another 3-pointer. Jackson got a great rebound. I remember that rebound off that 3. Terrific rebound. And then Ashworth comes down with 21 seconds. There was a timeout. And how
deep? It was
deep?
a counter to the counter. It was a counter to the counter.
Right.
If you think about it, and if you know Mac. But, like, he had set up McAndrew there. Fedor came off as well, second guy. And then they forgot about Ash, just kind of playing that dead man zone there. Found his way there, and it was a beautiful
because
play.
Holtman's such a good coach, he probably said, hey, watch this, and they just forgot.
Right. Yeah. But then if you have all those shooters, right, then of course you're going to forget about one eventually.
Deep 3, and he nailed it, and he hadn't nailed anything all night long. By the way, let me stop right there, and then it was 62, and then we went to overtime, and we took an 8-point lead. They came back, tied it up at the end, and then we came down and Ty hit some big free throws, man. He nailed it.
That's
nailed
that's
free
my
throws. And basically, in the both overtimes, we got the ball inside to Kalk. That was our game plan right there.
Not even that. He was finally like calling for it.
Yeah.
Generally, like, he gets position and then he's kind of just there, right?
Right.
Like he was making it known, like, throw me the effing ball, and I feel like there was times that he was just vocal about that, and where we haven't really seen that at times where he should have probably been, right? In some games, definitely in the, pre-conference, that it was like, Cuck, this is, you're the guy, make it known, ask for the ball, call for the ball, demand the ball. And like today was like, it was just supreme dominance.
Yeah, the only time was when he was so confident, then he was out there with the ball like that, and then he pulled up and shot that one. It was way short.
I don't care. I love it. Like the one he ripped goes. That was one of the biggest buckets of the game.
That drive?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We haven't seen that shit all year.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
that was great.
Like, we haven't seen it all year. So I was like,
you can swear. That's okay.
I love this.
By the way, I do think now that I'm watching this next game with Villanova and UConn, perhaps they have a huge fan blowing in there and the ball is just going all over the place because it's 10-8 in the first 7 minutes of the game. They've scored 18 points combined in the first 7 minutes. That's pretty much how our game was. Pretty close.
You could also say that they're probably thrown off a little bit. It's tough, right? When you're playing back-to-back consecutive games and then you just were watching this game and that just
and they had to wait.
Well, exactly.
So I want to ask you that. So obviously this must have happened to you at some point at Creighton, no? Or a game before you went to...
A little bit, but nothing like that.
Like that's a double overtime.
Where you got to wait double
it's only 5 minutes. That's probably an hour in real time.
At least
so you're ready to go,
45.
And then it's an hour. And now
you're probably going back to the locker room.
You're out in the concourse running around.
Exactly. You're trying to stay loose.
I think today we saw, I forget, it was a Big East or one of the tournaments, they showed the players out in the concourse running around to try and keep loose.
That's just different. And like it's going to take these guys a little bit to get moving.
Yeah.
And so that could have been a part of, our slow start, definitely.
Could have been. Or the fact we just bricked a lot of shots.
So we did get off to not shooting it
We bricked some, but then we had about 4 or 5 that went in and out too. So it looked like they were, good shots. Mm-hmm. Mason got that one that bounced around for everyone, dropped down. I'm like, that's so Mason this year, right? So Mason.
Yeah.
But the Jays win, 85-81.
They got the dub.
Somehow move on tomorrow night. I think it's an 8 o'clock tip Central Time. Come on down to Let It Fly. Let It Fly is going to be lit tomorrow night down here. It's going to be crazy. Tonight was nuts. So we had this "Let's Go Jays" and the CU chant going tonight. It was awesome in here. It was a great atmosphere to come watch a basketball game in a bar tonight. So come on back. Check it out. By the way, you like that Big 12 floor?
I do.
Here's the deal. So last night I saw it. I didn't know what it was. Today I noticed it's actually the Big 12 logo all the way.
Yeah,
I kind of like it. It's kind of grown on me. A lot of people don't like it.
It's similar to kind of what we got going, on our
grown
home
on
floor,
me.
but like it's just kind of.
Oh yeah, with the 3-point, but this is over the whole court.
Right.
Yeah,
it just kind of brightens.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of a great idea.
Definition.
Whoever came up with it. By the way. So,
What you got?
14-8 Villanova here.
Yeah.
8 minutes in.
We just watched something that like didn't happen. Right. So like
you're not going to get too excited about a 6-point lead this early.
Never. That's kind of where you're like.
But
nope.
we would love for these guys to go a couple overtimes, huh?
Yeah.
There's a deep one by Poplar. Nope, no good.
Absolutely. But they're also playing the late game.
I gotta say we would much rather play Villanova for one reason only.
I don't know, Tim. I'm on the opposite side of that. I'd rather play UConn. I'd rather play UConn if I was the guys.
Why?
I just don't have that faith in the UConn. I don't. And like
I don't either.
I don't think individuals are scared.
Didn't let me finish.
All right, my bad. I'm sorry.
All right.
Do your thing.
I'm saying I want to play Villanova for one reason only. That arena will not be 80% UConn fans. It'll be probably
80%
split.
Villanova.
No, Villanova travels to this, but not like
talking about next.
Tomorrow night.
Closer than UConn.
No. I know. But UConn has seriously.
Tim, come on, man. I was there in the Jay Wright era. Like they were 90% of everything. Them in Providence.
In Jay Wright era. Right now, that fan base is a little
shaky. It's shaky.
Okay, I was there last year.
I give you that.
I was there last year.
They're shaky.
It was St. John's and UConn.
But it's nothing. If they win this game,
I walked in there. Thinking, okay, I'm interested to see the breakdown here. It was 70 UConn, 30 St. John's.
All right, well, I'm gonna have somebody at the table tomorrow with the clicker. But like, I guarantee you, they win this game. It's an hour drive. They're driving up to Madison Square Garden.
Well.
To watch them play the Blue Jays.
I don't doubt you, but it's not going to be like
probably
UConn.
scarred them for life.
I'm saying
we scarred them for life, Tim. We have scarred them for life.
Now, here's the deal. Here's the bad deal, just like tonight. Tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. Unless they're really crappy like DePaul, then you can somehow pull it out. But we beat Villanova. We were the only team, I believe, of the top 4 that beat Villanova twice. I think they all lost to Villanova once. And you know the other thing that shocked me, I wasn't paying attention.
I don't want to play.
Marquette had the dark jersey. They were the 5 seed today. Xavier actually passed them. And again, Xavier did what they've done all year long. Oh my God, they look like the best team in the country for 30 minutes, and then they just give it away. They've done that all season. They had a huge lead against St. John's when they played them in Madison Square. They were up like 15 on them in the second half and let the lead go.
See.
Yeah, I don't know well, part of it is Xavier's not a very good defensive team.
Yeah.
They're elite offensively, not very good defensively.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that comes back to bite you.
I would say they aren't good, but they probably just don't put a lot of effort there.
Right. I mean, they're elite offensively, though.
So they got the athletes to definitely be good defensively.
And what's his name is terrific. God, what do you have, 39 today? All right, let's talk about. We're not getting any chats. I'm just scared.
Oh no, they're asleep.
There's viewers. No, I don't think they're asleep. I think they're just comatose after that game.
Fair.
Worst call of the day. There were several during the game I went ballistic on. I'm trying to think of one of them. How did you feel about... So we were arguing about this, Joel and I back there. How do you feel about that one where he jumped back? He stopped dribbling, then he jumped back, then he shot the 3 and he made it. The whole Creighton bench was yelling, he traveled.
That's understanding the rule book.
That's what he was telling me.
It is, though.
See, I'm old school. See, when I played, that was traveling.
No,
now they've kind of changed
It's not.
it.
That wasn't traveling even in your time.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I swear
They
it
would have
wasn't.
called Austin.
The
don't argue
ref
with me
would
on
have
this
called
one.
it, but in the actual rule book, it's on gather. So, like, and that's the whole thing. That's
Yeah, but
why
you
I'm
can't
point guard.
gather the ball.
But
and
if
then
you
jump.
don't have two hands on the ball, that's
But
not a gather. He went with one. As you move, you could do whatever. You could take 5 steps if you want to. If you still got half a hand on the ball.
No, then that's carrying the ball.
No. If the ball's like this and it's floating, I promise
Then
you.
we need to redo the rule book because. So
there's-
you're saying you can
there's
run with the ball like this.
There's caveats, yes.
You can dribble and run with the ball like that all the way down the court.
You could
You're
go,
full of crap.
Go pull all my film, and they got Ashworth doing it now.
Well, that was you. You carried the ball.
No. If go pull all film, they got Ashworth doing it now. You catch it on release. If you catch it in the backcourt, you could take X amount of steps
Guys
before
do
you
that bunny hop all the time, though, and they get away with it.
Before you put two hands.
They never used to get away with it. Now they get away with it.
So, like, you remember when James Harden's traveling?
No, don't do James Harden.
No, I'm saying he wasn't traveling because he was playing.
Curry didn't travel when he grabbed the ball and walked like 8 steps.
He was playing the rule book. I'm just saying you're playing the rule book. You're playing the rule book. Like, so
people
rewrite. Call James.
Somebody in chat, help me here.
Call James. Call Mr. Nasmith, which we can't.
And he would say you were full of crap. He would have called that a travel in his day. Oh, bull crap.
No.
Austin, you can argue
wrote
with
it
me.
away.
You can argue with me all you want.
Legalese. He wrote it that way.
That was a travel. The other one I was telling Joel about that he said isn't a travel is the guy would pump fake and then go in like this with this being his right foot being his pivot foot and going in like this and then change his pivot foot. That's
a travel. That's a travel.
They don't call that, though. They don't call that.
They do call that.
No, they
depending on who it is. They will call that one.
See, Joel said, no, that's not a call. That's not a travel because he said you're still in the movement or whatever.
You can't change pivots. You can never change pivots.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's usually on the baseline where a guy does that under.
That's a travel.
And moves that foot.
That's a travel.
And then lifts the other foot.
That's a travel.
That's a travel.
That's a travel.
I agree with you. 100%.
But as far as like on gathers is like the hardest thing to gauge.
I'd like to see a replay of that one though.
You could just go watch.
That was pretty.
I watched
blatant.
that replay, but like I'm telling you, he was even if you bounce it and you're holding it high, until you put 2 hands on it, then you have your 2 steps. So you could that's why the James Harden thing, he would do his thing, take 1 step, take half a step, then put 2 hands on it, then take 2 more steps after that. So then it was like, but it's not because like
2 more steps after you gather.
Per the rule book, once you have 2 hands on the ball, then you have your steps.
It's
just like somebody being smart and like understanding the rules.
There's too much sloppiness with that.
There's nuances.
Guys are taking way too much
but like you gotta find a way.
And to Joel's point though, what he pointed out, he goes, well then a guy would never be able to make a layup. And I go, oh, okay, I get that. But then it's just like in football in college when the guy's holding for the extra point, his knee's down. The ball should be dead right there. I got him on that too. He's like, "Ooh, you're right."
I mean, yeah, but that's always been the way.
They
though,
actually
right?
have a thing in the rule.
Yeah, that you can hold the ball.
Holder can, but here's what's stupid about it:
because the
holder can stand up and run. Right. No, he's down. He shouldn't be able to do that.
But in NFL though, it's tap.
Well, right. The NFL doesn't count because you can be down. Yeah, right. It's a different rule.
Right.
Nuances. It just frustrates.
It's nuances, Tim.
It just
come on. I mean, they're in all. They are because they're everywhere. Like they're in every walk of life.
Frustrates the crap out of me.
That's fair.
Villanova's up 2013 right now. Woo! Game's over. Game's over, Austin.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, it says they're going to win. Yeah.
For me, it's over. It's nighttime.
Oh, I know you're not feeling well.
No, it's too late.
I appreciate you coming.
It's too late out there.
By the way, so this is a perfect time to, first of all, talk about one of our sponsors, CareMinders Home Health Care. By the way, I meant to do this all year. Now we're into the postseason. Caleb, our producer.
Yes, sir.
Has he not been fantastic this year?
Yep.
He's been great. Thank you so much. He's been doing an awesome job. He had to step right in to a system he didn't know, and he's done an awesome job.
Amazing.
But I threw him off base there because we were rambling, and now I just jump into a sponsorship stuff. But it's Care Minders Home Health Care. We want to thank them so much for their sponsorship this year. If you're in need of care for your injured, ill, or senior loved one, reach out to Care Minders. Their agency is comprised of certified caregivers who have many years of experience. You'll receive versatile, flexible, and customized care for your comfort, peace of mind, and well-being. And that, tell me, when you get to be my age, peace of mind is huge. Like, it's huge, okay? And you might not need their services right now. You might be thinking, Mom is getting up there. I don't know. Maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't. Go to their website, caremindersnebraska.com. Check everything out they have to offer. Then when you're ready, you could just call them up. Give them a call at their number, 402-532-1383. And you'll be ready because you'll know exactly the services they offer. So that's caremindersnebraska.com. Now I want to talk about something really super exciting, okay?
What's that?
So we've got a bunch of cool stuff coming here. Yep. one of which I haven't talked to you about yet, so I won't mention that one yet. I have to ask if you can help me out with it. Mm-hmm. But if you remember when we did this show on the radio, and it was various people. It used to be Heath and Danny way back when, and then it was Ross for a while. On Sunday night of Selection Sunday, we would always do a show on the radio, a selection show. And we would talk about Creighton and if Nebraska got in. And this year it's Omaha, right? So we can talk about them. And then we would break down the rest of the bracket. Mm-hmm. We used to have guests on, like when Bruce Rasmussen was head of the NCAA selection committee. He came on our show. How cool was that, right? And so now that we're doing podcasts, we don't really have that. Well, guess what? We're going to have one. It's going to be right here at Let It Fly. It's going to be live. They're going to broadcast it on the screen with the sound, so you'll be able to hear it all, not only at the downtown location, but also at the West End location. Austin and I are going to do the show. The first part of it, we're going to focus on, okay, where did Creighton get selected? Yep. Where did they get sent? How do you like the matchup? Da-da-da-da-da. Same way with Omaha. And then we're going to globally look at the whole bracket. And then not only that, I'm going to have a humongous list of stuff that I've got in my database to help you fill out your bracket. Because they're going to have a bracket contest right here at Let It Fly. So you'll want to come in, grab a drink. They'll have brackets printed out. You can grab them. And then as we go through these, you can kind of go, okay, hey, here might be a team that they're talking about right here, or this team, or whatever. Help you win the bracket. You're going to win fabulous prizes here. They've got tons of stuff they're going to give away for the first, second, third, whatever place winners in their bracket contest. And that'll be set up probably Sunday night sometime. So at any rate, you'll want to come down to either location, out west or downtown. Show up on Sunday night. The show will be at 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, approximately. We may run a few minutes over because you know how I like to talk and Austin likes to talk. So, but we're going to go over the whole bracket, talk all about Creighton and Omaha, where they landed. We talk about Nebraska, but unfortunately they didn't make their conference tournament. Yeah. Austin, what do you think of that? What do you think of those apples?
Just good for them.
Good for them.
They won their
spoken like a true Jays fan. What an amazing! You want to talk about?
They won their championship.
An amazing comeback. Like somebody texted me tonight. He goes, "Well, we've both choked away an 8-point lead now after we choked away an 8-point lead in the first overtime." The same with Nebraska. Like 2 weeks ago, they were a number 10 seed in everybody's bracket, and then 2 weeks later, they don't even make their conference tournament. Like unbelievable, unbelievable how that worked. But anyway. And by the way, we've got to talk about that. So, anyway, Sunday night, 7 o'clock, come down here, go to the West End. You'll be able to see us. We're going to do the whole thing. Well, it's going to be great. So trust me. So they'll have specials and everything. So thank you for that. Got to mention the news of the day. I've reached out to Ryan. He hasn't reached back, but busy day.
He's got great news too, right?
Ryan Miller is our assistant coach, is the new head coach at Murray State.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Congrats.
How do you feel about next year doing a show called Racer Review?
Not good. Yeah.
I've already got it planned. I haven't talked to him about it, but I'm sure they don't have a lot of shows like this. We could do Racer Review. We could go over to Drake when they played there. Right. We could go over to Northern Iowa when they played there. We can go to Arch Madness.
Yeah. I guess we just got to talk to Miller, right?
Yeah.
He's a guy of resources.
My buddy Joel down there, he's already asked. He goes, have you been to Arch Madness? He goes, I've never been there. He goes, I go, Arch Madness is the bomb, man.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't Creighton was playing.
Yeah, well, it was, right? That was. Yeah.
Did you hear the story? I don't know if you ever read this. So, I can't remember his name. He used to write for the Des Moines Register. Then he went out to Denver. Sean Keeler, he used to be on our radio show all the time.
Okay.
So Sean did something interesting the year Creighton left, went to the Big East. Mm-hmm. He went to Arch Madness, and he went there with one thing in mind. Okay, how is this without Creighton, right? Even though he wasn't from Omaha at all, he just went there, did this. So he went into the bars, a couple of bars, and they're like, first of all, he went to the Hyatt where Creighton stayed, and he's like, he goes, oh my God, it was like, you wouldn't even know the hotel was open. And they talked to the people there, and they're like, well, obviously, we got nothing.
No.
But they go, we did have 2 New York bars call us and say, what do we need to do for Creighton? And they go, you need to have a lot of Coors Light. Like more than you would ever dream of.
Yeah.
Which we thought was very funny. And he went around town and he goes, the impact Creighton had on this tournament is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he goes, then the next year, Wichita was going to leave. And he said, I can't imagine what it's going to be like Wichita leave. So I'm sure it's not the same. And, we used to take over the landing area. Thursday night was the big night for Creighton fans to go to the piano bar. And then obviously Sundeckers was the Creighton bar. You couldn't get into that place.
Fair.
It was packed. And that landing is all gone. Everything's all gone because everything went out of business.
Yeah.
And, so I'm sure it's not the same, but it's still a wonderful tournament. So it'll be fun to go down and watch Ryan play in the tournament. Too bad DeVries is still Drake. Then we'd have 2 teams to root for,
good
right?
Stuff, but he's got
bigger fish to fry, right?
Absolutely.
I think from a Rakuta's standpoint, by the way, I think they will hang on to a bid. I don't even think they're going to drop into the playing game. I think they're okay. Things really got mixed up today because Xavier lost. Indiana lost.
Yep.
Boise won, though. Boise beat San Diego State. So actually, San Diego State might be in some trouble now. Boise might be okay. And then Texas, hook 'em horns, buddy. They won again. And if they lose again, they'd be 19-15, and that would be the 5th, I think, including the teams this year, would be the 5th team to get in with 15 losses. But the other 4 all had the same pattern. They were 17-14. They won 2 games in their conference tournament, one of them being against a ranked team, which today they beat a ranked team.
Yeah.
An incredible game.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. That was nuts.
Double overtime as well.
Double overtime game. Yeah, we've had a lot of double overtimes today.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's been 3, actually. So, anyway, I digress, but congratulations, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Big fixture here, obviously, at Left Flies. Family owns this place. So, we're going to miss him a ton, though.
Yep.
But hopefully I'll be able to contact him, when he gets back to Omaha next week, and we'll talk about it. He apparently talked to Matt Norlander tonight. I saw Matt put out a tweet and said, hey, I did speak to Ryan Miller. He's, asked him if he was going to coach all the way. He says, absolutely. There's no way I can leave these guys.
Yeah.
And he said, but I am excited to get to Murray State and get things going.
Oh, yeah.
So.
First stint, right?
Yes, first head coaching stint. So it'll be exciting.
Absolutely. That's big stuff.
I'm really excited because I'm working with another school.
Okay.
Who one of the target teams was Murray State. So maybe I can set up a game with him.
Nice.
Here we go.
Nice.
All right. Worst call? We were talking about worst call.
We were. It's just Big East basketball now. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's hard to have any qualms because they're trying to get the league back to what it used to be, right? Real physical.
So let me ask you this question. Since we're on this.
Yeah.
St. John's game today. Did you see any of that game?
I did not.
Okay. So the game starts out, and what's been the complaint of every Big East school this year? St. John's holds, grabs, tugs, and it's not being called.
They're
right?
handsy.
Today they called it very tight.
Yeah.
Donnie Marshall, 3 minutes into the game. well, this isn't the way basketball should be played.
Right.
This is way too close. They're just coming around. And I'm watching the calls, and I mean, they're grabbing their arm, and they're calling it.
Right.
And then, so this is great. The game's over, and I'm sitting up here waiting for the Creighton game to start, and I'm looking at my phone, and it said something about Butler having a post-game press conference, right? And Thad Matta gets up there and says, well, they were grabbing and holding us, and they weren't calling it right from the get-go. So there was apparently many calls they didn't get either.
Yeah.
You know? But I just thought that was strange of him to say that. I mean, that's why, and I keep trying to tell that. I'm not taking anything away from St. John's.
Well,
their defense is outstanding. It's outstanding. They have tremendous athletes. They get in your face. It's great. But they do get away with a lot of stuff. Today they didn't get away with as much, and Butler just couldn't throw it in the ocean. So, I mean, they ended up getting beat pretty handily. But I'm just saying, if they're going to ref St. John's that way, then these other teams, like a perfect example tomorrow night. What's Marquette? They're very free-flowing.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see, right? Marquette's a little bit different. They're not so much in your face. They get in the passing lanes. Get deflections.
Yeah.
And that's what they did in the second half. Their team, that Marquette team that played in the second half tonight, is a Marquette team we haven't seen since January.
Yeah.
They have not done that.
In a while.
And they did that in the second half, and it totally turned the game around.
Yep.
So it was incredible. I had a couple. There was an over the back on Kalk at one point. I didn't like, the one that Ashworth went nuts on, where he called timeout. I don't think he had the ball.
Yeah.
I think Creighton had as much of the ball as he did. That was a little bit disconcerting.
Yeah.
Chris Holtman had a lot of issues with a lot of calls tonight. But at any rate. All right. Here's the favorite part. Unsung hero.
Yes, sir. You already know what I got.
Yeah, how many points did Ty end up with?
7.
So perfect.
11 minutes.
I was telling somebody down there, I go, Ty's probably getting tired. He hasn't played this many minutes all year.
I kept being like, he's still in the game. He's still in the game. Yes, he's still in the game. I love this. Yeah.
You're ready to see Sammy or somebody else come in the game.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's still in the game. I love this.
Yeah,
but like, he just was moving differently, right? Like, of course, it's probably all the energy of the conference play, right? And this conference tournament and fans there and everything that goes on at the hotel and the send off. And
it's what I love about him, though. Joel. I wish Joel said he's going to come up and watch it. I was going to give Joel crap because he was like a little bit down. I go, because he kind of didn't say anything negative about Ty, but he's like, yeah, I'm not sure. And then I go, Ty drove that one to the basket and laid it down. I go, there's your point guard, dude. There he is right there.
There you go.
And but like he was saying, and I said, but you got to admit that all season long, when Ty gets in the game, if you told me he was a junior, I'd be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he does have those turnovers, but I mean, when he gets the ball, he has exudes a lot of confidence.
He's just steady, and not even that. He's just like, he's not going to try to do anything to, go outside of himself. He's not going to do anything too flashy. He's going to play solid defense. He's just steady, right? And like Mac, generally, like when you have guys like that too, he leans on them a little more. But we got Ash, which is playing at a super high level, so it's just tough right now.
Newsflash. Mahaney for UConn just hit a 3.
Yeah,
he hasn't hit a 3 basically all year when I've watched.
Yeah, well, what about Mason? Mason's coming around.
Hey, he's hit 2 in the last 2 games.
Come on, baby. I told you he's going to hit
Mason doesn't know which county he's in.
Yeah, not right now. But, maybe
he might have lost a couple of teeth.
Yeah, maybe in a week or two, like in a week and a half, he'll probably be like, he'll be all right. Maybe he'll be back.
Anyway, it's a 3-point game. Villanova's still ahead. So the game's pretty much over, as we know, because 20 minutes. Come on, they can't make up 3 points, right? Oh, wait. We just saw that. By the way, like my new Christmas shirt I got?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp.
I like the baby blue. Yeah. I do. I'm a fan of it. I do.
Sharp.
I do.
It's 80 degrees out, so I can wear short sleeve shirts.
Yes, sir. It's time. It's about time, too, we put this game together. It's about time we get this match figured out here.
Golf.
Are we at players, or what are we doing? Where are we at?
I have my play. By the way.
Are we at players
Oh, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna have to get a
a
practice round in or something first.
I'll take you out there.
All right,
we'll do it.
All right.
By the way, I forget who I was talking to. Was it Murfeld I was talking to?
Yeah.
And he said Trout was really good. But Murfeld's
good.
a 95 shooter, okay? So when he says Trout's good,
Murph has hip problems. So, like.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not. I
said Ash is good.
I'll take Murph's advice on a lot of stuff. I'm not going to take it on whether a guy is a good golfer.
All right, fair.
Like, I know you're a good golfer.
Fair.
I know Doug's a good golfer. I know AJ's a good golfer. You're two potential
AJ's
partners.
okay. He's okay. He's okay.
Oh, God.
He's okay.
He's a golf pro.
He's okay.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Like, we had a whole debate today.
More
he wants to be
excited about whipping your can. That's all I can say.
That's fair. I just need to know strokes.
God,
and, like, we're ready to go.
You know what? We need to, like, give away
something
like stuff so people can come and watch.
Yeah.
Like if they want to.
Absolutely.
Like I'll pay for the cart. Blue Jay Banner will pay for the cart because usually if you borrow a cart, you got to pay for some of it. So to come out and watch this, man.
Absolutely. I'm sure we could probably put something together.
Yeah, we got to do something like that. Absolutely. By the way, Blue Jay Banner golf tournament. While I think about it, as we're just rambling on here, July 26th, Saturday.
Let's go.
Dodge Park, Riverside. Then we're coming right here to Let It Fly, having the post game as we did last year, and everybody loved it.
Nice.
So that website will come up as soon as. Let me. Can I just breathe for a couple days before get through this basketball thing, get through the bracketology, get through this, and then I'll post it probably early part of April. There's plenty of time for everybody to sign up, but I'm just saying, mark it down so you don't lose the date. All right. Tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Me and my partner will be right here.
Yes,
I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. I might have a spark, but
take a little NyQuil.
Yeah,
so you get a good
just a little emergency, and I'll be back to it.
Of course, when you got kids, it's hard to do.
Yeah, I don't even count sleep anymore. But yeah.
All right, so tomorrow night we will play the winner of UConn and Villanova. I'm sure they're really happy with having to wait an hour to play this game because in New York right now it's 11 o'clock,
right?
And they're not even to halftime yet. So I'm sure they're really thrilled with this.
Slow start.
So last question though, how much did that bother you? Because people always talk about it.
I mean, that's
versus
bothered players since rudimentary days.
Since playing, let's say you played in the afternoon and then had to play the next night. Okay, that's that's going to happen, right? But I'm talking about let's say you played the second game, which Creighton has done every once in a while. Played the second game and then have to turn around and play the late night game the next night. Does the late night bother you when you've got media and all that? No,
because you just get a little more rest. Generally you just sleep in more.
Yeah. So do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's a big deal for these teams?
I wouldn't say.
I mean, they're going to get done. This game's going to get over after midnight.
I wouldn't say it's a large deal, but
it's probably going to be 2 a.m.
Right. Well, I believe there was a time where we had one of those. So I remember me and Doug were in the ice bath at 1:30 a.m. And had the game. Wake up was 8:30 in the morning. And it was all right.
You had to do film,
quick turnaround, breakfast. Just get moving and get the body, all that. And Mac likes to get guys moving. Yeah. So, regardless of it, it's exhausting.
Some guys
and Murph, right? Go see some sun, get some sun, touch some grass. So a lot of that.
Get up.
A lot of that is just what it is.
Those guys saying that
adrenaline is it kicks in and if you want to play at the next level, you're gonna have some back-to-backs, and this is the best part of basketball when you're playing these games at a consistent pace. You know what I mean?
The world's most famous arena.
Exactly. It's
just
you wake up for that. You wake up for
2 minutes to go in the first half. They're not even at halftime yet.
No.
Oh my God, this game's gonna go to 12:30.
Absolutely.
They're not gonna get to bed till 2:30.
Easily.
Probably.
This might go to overtime.
Especially if you schmooze down Times Square and get yourself a sandwich at some deli here late night.
Yeah, you might as well.
That's a deep three. Wow.
That should have been
There's your player of the year right there, Mr. Dixon.
Yeah, you just gotta.
You have to. I know. By the way, everybody's bitching about that, but him and Kalkbrenner, they're putting up the stats. They won the conference. They usually give it to players on. And look, if you watch that game today, he was tremendous. Without him, they might have struggled a little bit, but he was great.
Yeah, he's high level.
He's had a tremendous year.
Player.
And Dixon got first team, and they finished 6th in the league. So
they finished 6th in the league, but he's also doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
which you can't discredit. But it's also kind of the way we've done with Caulk, right, all year. Like, we've kind of just, we hadn't been as grateful as what maybe we should. And now we're kind of like realizing, like, these are some of the last days.
Wait till teams don't dribble into the lane like this year and back out.
Right.
And they take Fred on or whoever we have.
Right.
In there.
And you got guys just jumping
be like,
from the free throw line.
Wait a minute.
Right.
That's not supposed to happen.
No. So,
and how great is it? He breaks Patrick Ewing's record and he's, playing him as his court.
In the
That's just apropos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storybook.
All right. So tomorrow night we'll be here. I don't know. If the game goes regular time, it's going to be late night, but it's a Friday night, people. Come on. This is tournament time. Let's go.
Friday night.
All right.
It's tax day as well tomorrow.
We'll probably be getting on the air right around 10:30ish, something like that.
I like it.
So join us then. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button as you're watching this. Some of you are going to watch it tomorrow morning at work because you're sluffers and you're just going to. You don't have to turn in your list of 5 things you did this week, so you're just going to watch.
But you do got to get your taxes done tomorrow. What? A lot of them got to. They have to.
It's not. It's
14th?
April 15th, dude.
14th?
Tomorrow's March 14th. We got a month to go yet, dude.
You see where I'm at, Tim.
He's a financial guy. Let me just tell you.
You see where I'm at, Tim.
You know why?
I'm trying to help some people out here. That's what I'm doing.
You know why I do this? Because the finance guy, who's this ex-CFO who runs Blue Jay Banner, who helps me out with it, he's always freaking out because he gives me the thing for Blue Jay Banner. And I go,
out myself.
He goes, oh, yeah, you do it later. I go, yeah, I don't even look at my taxes till the final game of the basketball season is done.
Fair.
Then Masters weekend, I take a look at it, and then the Monday after Masters weekend, I get on and I start.
You're getting extensions though for the normal person.
No, I don't. Well, I do it on TurboTax.
Fair.
It takes me like half a day.
All right.
And I'm done.
Well,
it's one day I can't golf,
beware.
But I get done.
I got you. Got
done.
Well, let's get out there here.
I get it done, and then I'm able to surprise my wife with like, look, honey, we don't pay as much as we did last year. There we go. All right. Anyway, we'll be back here tomorrow night. Caleb, you're awesome, buddy. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Come on down to Let It Fly tomorrow night. It's going to be a blast down here watching us and hopefully Villanova. I want Villanova. He wants UConn. I want Villanova.
I want UConn, man.
I want Villanova.
You don't want to see that dude, man. We don't want to see that
we're
dude,
okay.
man.
I'm okay with that dude.
I'm not.
I don't want to see Mr. 38 points.
I think we do.
McNeely.
I think we do.
Yeah.
I know we do.
I don't know.
Because he
had that. That was his first game back. And he had that great game, and then he went and played at Seton Hall and just stunk up the joint. You know what I mean?
He's pressing. I think he proved like, hey, I'm talented.
Yeah, I'm sure UConn was not happy when they saw Villanova across from in this bracket because this is a tough out, man. And plus they're kind of playing for their lives here. Exactly. Oh, we should have taken it to the hole there, but
Poplar
still made it. All right. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll let you go. We're just rambling now. 13. So we'll let you go. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.
Poplar.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.